Alan Moore gets told to F off. That's right. Welcome to episode 3, Super City Comics, with your host, Eric VT. Thanks for joining and watching. Please like and subscribe. Damon Lindelof. He is doing the HBO Watchmen series, and he has told Alan Moore to F the F off. What is going on here, right, guys? All right. As you know, The Watchmen was a groundbreaking comic book series, 12-issue series in the 80s by Alan Moore, and he redefined superhero comic books with that series. It stood alone for over a decade, right? I maybe more than like decades, until Zack Snyder, he did a Watchmen movie, which I really enjoyed. The Watchmen movie also did not have Alan Moore's blessing, right? Alan Moore is very much mainstream comic books, even though he retired recently from comic books, but that's a whole nother story. So the movie that was made, I really enjoyed. I thought it had a great opening sequence with the comedian. I loved the old time superheroes it showed. I loved how they took the story and ran with it and did a good job with it. I love the opening sequence with the Bob Dylan song and all the moments in American history that were different in the superhero universe. All created by Alan Moore. Not owned by Alan Moore. It's owned by DC and Warner Brothers and all that, but created by Alan Moore. So that's where we pick up this. HBO's television series of The Watchmen by Damon Lindelof. Let's check this out. Who watches The Watchmen? Probably not Alan Moore. Okay, it talks about how he created the Watchmen series comic book wise with David Gibbons, and it was very popular. And then Lindelof goes on to say Alan has made it clear he wants no ongoing affiliation and to not use his name to get people to watch it. So what does Lindelof do? He uses Alan Moore's name, and not only uses Alan Moore's name, he uses Alan Moore's name and tells him to F off. So, but you know, in a sense, Alan Moore might kind of like that in a sense, but probably not. So I guess Lindelof, he made personal overtures. He tried to get his blessing and Alan Moore's blessing and all that, and try to get him on board. And then Lindelof goes on to say, as someone who has a very complicated relationship with my dad, I constantly need to prove myself to someone. Alan Moore is now my surrogate dad. Okay, emo guy. So Lindelof, he did Lost. He did, I think, the first 2 new Star Trek movie series, and with J.J. Abrams. He has a good working relationship with J.J., but this is a total, like, angsty teen. Oh, I don't have a good relationship with my dad, so Alan Moore is now my surrogate. But then he loves that Alan has a punk rock spirit. And he's channeling his spirit to tell him to F off. Or not F off. F you. I'm doing it anyway. So he loves Alan Moore's punk rock spirit. Now let me get this straight. He's channeling his spirit to tell him F you. So he's channeling Alan Moore's own spirit to say F you to Alan Moore. Not Alan Moore's spirit, but actually Alan Moore. So yeah. That's kind of funny. Anyway, this goes on to talk a little bit about what's going on with the series. What Alan Moore did. He, of course, he created V for Vendetta and From Hell and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and he's dismissive of all these pretty much. And the HBO Watchmen series is no different. Lindelof has no specialty here, except to say he does exactly what Alan Moore doesn't want, using his name. And not only does he use his name, he uses his name and says F you to Alan Moore. So, I watched the little teaser trailer and I was not impressed. I was really hopeful for this series, but I'm not impressed so far. You got the Rorschach army, kind of. It looks like lots of Rorschach type masks, and it really looks like a Guy Fawkes wannabe type storyline as far as that's concerned. And I just hope that this series does well. You know, I don't want to see it do bad. I would love a great Watchmen series, but yeah, I'm not hopeful. I don't have a good feeling. I don't have a good vibe. And telling Alan Moore to F you, that's not off to the best start. So anyway, please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this little one, and let's see how this looks later on when this series comes out. Thanks, guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.